Hey guys, it's Anna. It's day number 4, and are you surprised to see me totally, again, not put together? This is how I live my life. You know what? For many, many years, I had to dress up and go to work, although I will say it does feel nice to kind of dress up, and I'm hoping to go on a date night tonight, and I just realized that I forgot to text the babysitter, so this won't be a long call because date night is important. My husband and I have been married for 16 years, and date night has been in existence for 16 years. And it's random. But when we first had our kids, hey, let's go on a date night. Thankfully, we have great babysitters around. We have family. But we've always, 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 always made it a point to go out on date night. Now it's actually harder for us to do it because the kids are older. So, we want to do a lot of things with the kids now. And so it's like, wait a minute, what about our date night? So I did tell my husband tonight, I want date night. He's leaving out of town next week. And Friday nights have now become family date night. So it's on the couch with Amazing Race, because we thought it would be perfect for the kids. We used to love to watch. My husband and I would love to have been on the show. But I think it's fun for the family, and so family date night, especially because we both are so crazy busy, right? We both work from home. It's a nice time to sit down. We did this last weekend, and my daughter took a box and she put our phones in it and she took it out of the room. So it's very important. It was of course eye-opening. So family date night. There, I said it. Okay. So today is going to be a big day, and I did not come as prepared as I did in the previous 3 days because, one, I probably will be repeating myself on some things, but I did write down the agenda again. I'm glad I created that agenda way back when, because this, of course, it is probably my strength as well. So kind of like, what exactly should I be doing, and what tools should I be using, and how to stay on top of it, and how to not feel lost. So that's the topic of the day. And I did brew some afternoon coffee. So today we've got Chicago. So shout out to you guys in Chicago. Okay, so yesterday was huge. I'm getting a delay on the screen, so I sure hope that you guys are not getting a delay on there. Usually the recording is a little bit better. Yesterday was a big, 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 big day. Yesterday was a huge day, and I hope that if you're watching this one on day 4, that you did not skip yesterday's, because I think that was probably the most informative I've been, just because I was talking on a subject that I knew well. And I love that you guys are hashtagging WWAD. Keep doing it. I swear, if you guys are on a plane and you see, here's what I want you to do. If you're on a plane or on a train or whatever, and you see somebody sitting there playing video games or zoning off into space or something, would you please take a picture, post it on my wall with the hashtag, because we need to get the word out to other people that they need to be doing something and not being lazy butts. Okay, so what exactly should you be doing in this business? Again, I love that I have this forum to kind of regroup you guys. I was telling another top coach, they were asking me how the coffee group was going, and I said it's a really great opportunity for me to get in front of everybody like it's our own little summit, right? And for me to get everybody on the same page, everybody caught up, everybody understanding what's going on, and really to get your mojo back. And I'll tell you what, this week, and a lot of you noticed this in your paychecks, you're swinging into October really strong. August, September was tough, but man, here's the great thing about this business. It's tough, and then it goes up, and you're going to find dips. It'll dip right here, but it won't go back down to the beginning. So, you know, it's a constant raise. And if you saw my post last night, about the conversation on the wall, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, just stick with the plan. I'm watching my friends that are, a few steps ahead of me, and not, rock star, superstar, jumped up, 15-star diamond in a year. These are friends that have been doing it just as long as I have, if not longer, who kind of started things a little bit ahead of me, left their jobs a little bit ahead of me, and I'm kind of seeing the near future, like the 1 year out future. And I'll tell you, this morning I checked my paycheck this morning after having a dip in pay, because I just think everybody's mojo was just blah. It was like everybody was, including myself, we just all were kind of in a funk. And actually, it was across the network. Everybody had been experiencing this. I think that with the Fall Classic, it's a great opportunity to keep the momentum into the end of the year, because we all know what's coming, the end of the year, which is huge. So if we just keep the momentum, of course, we've got great products that everybody will benefit from it. And I think, honestly, and this is what I was talking to Heather this morning about how our team is really come together as a team. This has been my vision for so long. And I'm telling you this, if you're a diamond leader, if you're a 1-star, 2-star diamond leader, usually once you hit about 2-star, then you start to you're starting to move. You've got many moving parts. But you'll understand how difficult it is to kind of get everybody from one position to the next and get the word across. And it's a challenging, and that's the challenge with leadership. And that's why we have great personal development books on leadership, because it makes us better leaders and how to lead. But what I see in this group is that what my vision has been. My vision has not been me leading the pack. My vision has been everybody else collaboratively leading, because they are just stepping out of their comfort zone, like I did on Mike Ryan's page. And you'll see I'm not in there as much as I used to be, because I planted there, and I built my business in there. I built my leadership skills in there. And those guys are all doing amazing things now, and they've all kind of grown up, and now they're doing leadership things. And so, it was time for me to kind of focus on you guys and your leadership. So I want you, I still want you to go into their team page, but I really want you to keep the All-Star group as the central location for conversation. My goal is not just a raw group. My goal is really to continue to make it a classroom, and to continue to keep the questions out of the inbox. I know you guys, once I started saying that, it's been amazing. You guys have totally done it. You guys have caught yourself on it and posted the questions in the group. Of course, there are certain questions that need to be answered that are personal, that have to do with you or whatever, and that's totally fine. But I love the fact that you're catching that, and that how valuable it is to be in the group, and you guys are all collectively working together, which again has been my vision, because those of you that have stepped up and done that, look at what's happening in your business. You're changing rank, you're developing your leadership skills, you're stepping out of your comfort zone more often, and truthfully, you're just saying, screw it, I'm going to be a leader. So by you stepping up and being a leader in this team page, just like I did in my client. So it's going to mimic this. So if you have a team page, that's quite all right, but I want you to practice your skills in here, because there's a lot more people to work with. And then you do the same thing in your team page. And it's difficult. It's definitely building a tribe. And this is exactly what we are, It's so much fun now. I mean, it was fun before, but it's so much fun for me to watch you guys interact and just develop these relationships. Makes me super happy. And that's what it's all about, because we all grow that way, because we don't need to hear from me all the time. So, okay. What exactly should we be doing? Now, that being said, what exactly you should be doing, let's just say that, because this is total reality. And it's not reality for me, because I never had a baby, but you're pregnant, We've got a couple of you pregos here in this team, which is awesome. Life happens. You have a baby, and you know what? Your whole world completely changes. For those of you who have not had a baby before or don't have kids yet and are going to, your life changes. What I want you to know is that your life changes, and it will change forever because of those children or the children. But I also don't want you to get completely caught up in your future, because that's why you're here. Most of you are here to help provide for your family's future. So enjoy your baby time, so my point is, if things like that happen and you completely fall off the grid, because of course this is like the most amazing thing of all time, or something happens in your family and you just have to take care of it. I'm saying this because I know of all sorts of scenarios that I've seen in 5 years. I've got coaches that have done everything, okay? They've had babies, they've had life tragedies, they've had life throws you a curveball, they've had everything you could possibly think of. And life happens, you know? I mean, I had a curveball, and I'll kind of go through this first and then I'll go back to my curveball. But how to stay on top of things, and I know exactly what you do when you have that curveball and you have to deal with something. Life change, you end up getting up and having to move your whole family, whatever. Take care of that first, because that is ultimately your first priority. Obviously, that's the last thing I want you to do is not think that I'm trying to say that that's not your first priority. But when you realize that it's time to come back, I want you, and this is probably the strongest piece of information. I want you to always feel that you are not left behind. So what happens is someone falls away for a few months because life happens. And then I get a message that, and actually, truthfully, I don't get a message because they are too afraid to message me because they feel lost. But they don't realize that they're not lost. So I'm telling you this. If you go through a life event, then we as a team 100% support you, and you know that. When you fall away and you and then you assume that you are lost and then you don't show back up, then you will be lost. The best thing that you can do if a life event happens that you have got to deal with, we will support you 1 bazillion%. And in order to get back in, you just show up. It's just simple. What exactly do you do, and how do you never feel lost? You just show up. The moment you stop showing up, the moment you start to feel lost. The moment you show back up, the moment you don't feel lost, because everybody is there to support you. Now, you also know that this is a very simple business. It will never change. The only thing that will change are these little tools and little tricks and little tidbits. And like, I put this challenge group workbook together. I had seen some amazing top coach had one, and I kind of put one together. But so things like that will benefit you. But the business and how we build the business and what we do with the business will never change. You already know it. You know it. 3 vital behaviors. You work out, you drink your shake, you do your personal development, and you invite people to challenge groups and coaching. That's it. That will always be it. There will never be a change. So you take care of your life event, and then you show back up, okay? The best thing that you can do is just show back up. Hey, guys, I was hit with a horrible curveball. Here's what happened in my life. I'm back. I hope you can, help me out. And gosh darn it, that everybody in this team page will get you back up to speed, whatever that speed may be. But if you don't show up, we don't know. We don't know that that's what's going on in your life. There's no way to know that. So the best thing that you can do when you feel lost is show up. Just pop in the team page and say, hey, I'm lost. Simple as that. And even if you're lost right now, I mean, you shouldn't be after this week and you've been sitting here and maybe you've even gone through them again. But there may be a time where you just feel lost. You need to show up and not feel lost. And I'll tell you, I have an amazing team. I have so many coaches. I have a list. I'll show you this list of coaches. These are just my 2013, 2014 coaches. Amazing people. Every day I sit here and I look at the list because I want to make sure that I remember everybody and that I know everybody's story. But it's very difficult to remember everybody and where they're at in this business. I mean, God, I would have never thought. I looked at it this morning, 740 coaches on this team, which is crazy. So I used to be really good at like remembering where everybody was at, what's going on in their life. But it's impossible to do that unless you show up. Because when you show up, I know. I mean, I don't even have to take notes because I know what's going on in your life when you say, hey, whatever's going on in your life, whether it's bad, good, neutral, you're just going through the motions. Even if you're going through the motions and you're doing everything, I don't know that. I mean, I see volume show up in the back office, but I don't know if anything's going on in your life. The only way for me to know is for you to show up. Tell me, hey, check in with me. Hey, I've got this going on. I want to hear from you because I want to know, because guess what? Sometimes maybe there's just one little thing that I can say, like, use me as a sounding board, and then maybe that will help you, get past that plateau, even though you don't want to bother me, like, or bother the team, bother the team. That's what the team is here for. Bother them. Feel lost. But you need to step up and show up. That's it. Show up. If you ever feel lost, show up. Okay, so I can't be a hashtag, but show up. Now we're all on the same page, right? We're all here as a team. We started that leader of the day thing. The reason why I did it was exactly what's happening now is like everybody is getting to know everybody and you're not afraid to say hi. And you're like the most amazing person. And now I'm seeing more and more people sharing their stories, and it's just, it's amazing. So we'll continue to do the leader of the day. We'll continue to make it fun because we still have new people coming in. And, if you're new, step up and volunteer to be a leader of the day so that we can get to know you, so that you can get to know yourself. And I know that there have been plenty of you who stepped up and done it and have shared, and you were terrified of it. And then I'm sure now you feel so much better. So that's what it's there for. So we'll continue to do that. So showing up is the most important thing. Maybe you can't show up every day because you have stuff going on, but remember I talked about, spreading out those little things. If you don't want to feel lost, then you pop in the team page every day. You scroll it, make sure everything's going on, comment on something so somebody knows you're around, like me. And be on with your day. And that's cool. Or support people, answer a question. I really am really trying to have everybody else answer questions because it's really hard for me to pull away from that. Because I want you, it's like totally open door. If you know the answer, jump in. Like Michael Klobes, thank you for jumping in and making that video today because that was so freaking awesome. If you guys did that every day, if somebody just jumped in and said, hey, I wanted to make a video, do you see how much support, how much you touched other people? So if you have something on your chest, that's how I roll. If I have something on my chest, guess what? Do a video. If you have something on your chest that like you went through and you just felt like you don't want somebody else to go through this, post a video up. We don't care what you look like. Obviously, I didn't put myself together. So how to never feel lost, show up, be a part of the team. This is a team. This is not the Anna show. The only reason that that's my group is because I started before all of you. I mean, that's plain and simple. I started before all of you. So I had to lead something. But it's not my show. In fact, I want it to be everybody else's show but mine. So show up. That's the only way we can do this. And you know what? The more momentum, like with Michael's event, and the more support that we give each other outside of this group, with the Fall Classic, and you guys are paired up with share that with the world, because people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. So if you're sharing on Facebook that you've got this great success partner and you're pushing each other, and people are like, I want to be successful. So show up, support each other. Okay. And that's also how you stay on track. I'm looking at my notes for the agenda. How you stay on track with things, how you stay on top of things. I'm going to give you a tangible, besides for showing up. If you ever feel like you're out of touch with what's going on, like maybe you were on vacation, or I don't know, one of those life events. Oh, I forgot to go back to my curveball. One of those life events, you come back, you're like, okay, what am I missing? Where do I start? What do I do? What am I doing? What you do is, of course, you can scroll through the group, but the groups run so fast. In like a day, there's a bunch of posts. What you should do is go into the file section. The file section will give you the most up-to-date information that's going on in this team page. Okay, so files have been updated, resources have been updated. You can see they float to the top. If it's the new, for today, I was up making that workbook for the challenge groups and templates, because I really am working on running an amazing challenge group, because I know that that's my goal, is to continually improve the challenge group, because I want more and more testimonials and more results. So you can see in the file section, if something's been updated, it will float to the top. And you'll know that that's important and that's new, and that's something that you should probably take a look at if you've been off the grid for a while. So, so that's how you stay on top of things, besides for just asking, post in the group, I've been MIA, what's going on, what's new, what's the sale of the month. Also the FAQs, and go in your back office. If you go in your back, so you've been off the grid, you go in your back office, and you look in the upper right-hand corner, and you look at all the news first, and then you go in the team page. You may be able to hear my kids at home. And then you go in the team page, and then you scroll through the team page and kind of get a feel for things, and then you go in the file section, and you see what's been updated, and then you're up to date, completely up to date with what's going on, and you can keep moving forward, because again, there's no mystery with this business. Working out, drinking your shake, doing your personal development, and inviting. That's it. So, what the worst comes to worst, you feel lost, you know what you do? Go work out and share it. Like, I don't know what to post. I don't know. Go work out and share it. Because that's what you did before you were a coach, and that's why we all said you'd be an amazing coach. So once you stop doing that, hold on a second. Ladies. Excuse me, I'm on the air. Thank you. Yes, I should have done this earlier this morning. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. So you were doing this before you became a coach, and then sometimes we throw that out the window because we're so focused on all this training. Worst comes to work, you get off the grid. Oh, I gotta work out. Work out, post, work out, share what's going on, share what's going on. That's it. And then you get up to speed because people start asking you, and then you pop in a team page and you say, somebody's asking me about so-and-so. So now you have the tools to get back into the swing of things if you have been off the grid. Okay. So what exactly should you be doing? Now, if you're a brand spanking new coach, and you are one of my personally sponsored coaches, or your sponsored coach is one of my personally sponsored coaches that is not necessarily a diamond. I know I'm totally confusing you. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what my coach flow is right now, currently. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to your upline sponsored coach, and you're going to say, is that what you're doing? And they're going to say, yes, I'm doing the same thing that Anna is, and I'm plugging all of my people into her training. Or you're going to say, no, I'm doing my version of it. Okay, that'll be the easiest way to deal with this. So write this down. Okay, you're a brand new coach. You should have, and I went through this, I think a couple days ago, you should have gone through the teamvictorytraining.com site and done that foundation training. That training has not changed since November of last year because Kelly and I sat in a condo on the beach doing that. That has not changed. I'm working on a project. That's all I'm going to say. Because, you know, if it doesn't go through, then you'll say, where's that project? So anyways, okay, so brand new coach, you should have already done the new coach foundation training. Your welcome email may be completely different based on your upline coach. Mine has changed and continually kind of changes and tweaks a little bit. So it's not always the same, but really it's the same process. You start there, you get that foundation training done. You have a getting started right call with your upline sponsoring coach. That upline sponsoring coach, if I'm talking to you and you're a brand new Emerald or you have your first few coaches, there is training in the new coach box in the file section on how to do a getting started right call, what a welcome email looks like. So your job is to go in the file section and find that new coach workflow and make sure that your new coach is going through that if you don't already have your training in place. And I would say that's probably 90% of this team because I know who is running their own training. So, and that's why I have to qualify that because some of you may be on this call. So you go through the foundation training. You schedule your getting started right call. If you're my coach, then you will have a link to schedule a call with me. You have your getting started right call, and now you are going to be a part of the 2 weeks to success new coach training part 1 group. Okay, this piece is new. This piece, all this year, I've been basically doing this piece in private messages, okay? And then before we had this new coach boot camp. So what I basically did was I kept that new coach boot camp, but I created this new 2 weeks to success group that a new coach goes through first. The reason why is because I was having all these private conversations and I want to make sure that everybody gets the word out. And so that was the easiest way to do it. And I know with our old new coach boot camp, people would sit in there and do it at their own pace. So that works really, really well with our team. And that's why I chose to do it this way with the 2 weeks to success group. So you go through the foundation training on the website, you get your getting started right call scheduled with your upline coach, and then you go through the first 2 weeks to success group. Now, if you are a new coach and you're not in that group, talk to your upline sponsoring coach, and they should either be on this call and know about this or message me so that they're on the same page, or even just post in the group so that everybody's on the same page. But if you want to be a part of this first 2 weeks to success, I'm going to give you the overview. It is basically getting your first free group up and running. How do you do it? What to expect? All those things that I've had conversations with people about in your first 2 weeks. I launched it about a month and a half ago, so there are definitely a handful of coaches that have gone through it, have been amazingly successful, have gotten their free groups off the ground. Once you get your free group off the ground, you've gotten your feet wet, that's part of training. Then you graduate into the new coach boot camp, which I'm calling Coach Training Part 2, okay? Coach Training Part 2 is just like our old model home, we used to call it, or, you know, new coach boot camp is what we used to call it. I have modified a few things, updated a few documents, archived a few documents. Those archived documents are still in the group, but they're just down at the bottom. What you do once you get your first group up off your free group off the ground, you graduate in that first 2 weeks, however long it takes you to get through it. Ideally, it's 2 weeks. Then you move on to that New Coach Bootcamp. You go through that process. You go through the file section just like you did in the 2-week group. You go through the file section. It's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You go at your own pace. You complete that training, okay? And then you graduate from that. Now, if you have not gone through that training and you have not gone through, or you have not gone through the 2-week training plus that, then you need to get into the 2-week training. I will post a link to that training in the coffee group so as not to confuse the rest of the team page. Go through that. And, you know, if you've been doing this long enough and maybe you haven't even run a free group yet, or you it's been a really long time, then go through that group again, or go through that 2-week group, get your feet wet again, and then graduate, and then move on to the Team Beachbody Challenge groups. So that's my flow as it stands right now. All the documents in the team page are basically resources once you get out of that new coach training. Like Michael said earlier, and I said yesterday about having a buffet. There's all this information, all that stuff in the file section in the team page is the buffet. It's all those resources that you either learned before or don't need in that new coach bootcamp, you know, just resources for you to grab in the middle of a conversation, or you're just starting a challenge group and you need, you know, the templates and the scripts and the workbook, and you know, you've got a new coach, how do you set them up? So those are resources in the team page. But as far as training goes, you've got your welcome email, you've got your team victorytraining.com site, you get your first 2 weeks to success, and then you got your new coach training bootcamp. Okay. Now, as a new coach, you should go through all of that training. Again, if your upline sponsor and coach has their own training, totally fine. They've, you know, we're all on the same page. Their training just may be a little bit different, and that's okay. Totally fine. This is just how I do things, and you're welcome to be a part of it. I don't want you to feel that you have conflicting information, because every person on this team has, I know, is on the same page, even with their own training. So do whatever your upline sponsor and coach tells you to do, okay? That's what I want you to do. Okay, so that's the new coach flow. Now that you guys are all abreast of that, I need you guys to help me out in the team page so that if that question comes up, brand new coach shows up, they say, I don't know what to do, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly the plan. And I do not plan on changing that at all. I may be updating some files in those groups. And that's about it. Hold on one more second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, they're in trouble. They were supposed to be quiet. Okay, so new coach flow, and okay. Now I want to do tools to be successful. What are the necessary tools? What are the recommended tools? Necessary tools. So we've got training, you know, and the Emerald to Diamond training we're going to be announcing later today. And those are for Emeralds and above who filled out the application. It's going to be hardcore, just so you know. But what's the goal? The goal is to get you to Diamond. The goal is to, you know, have you be able to reach out to the masses, be great with your customers, be great with your coaches, step out of your comfort zone, don't be icky, all of that fun stuff. Okay, and that's going to start on Monday. I'm going to go through the necessary tools to be successful. Necessary tools to be successful are my non-negotiables. 1, Evernote. You absolutely need Evernote on your phone, on your computer. You can, on your whatever laptop, on your work computer, if that's allowed. You can get anything off of Evernote. I use it. I'm in there 100 times a day. I save everything to Evernote because it's very easy to search on my phone and find it. the tools that it's easy to share links to. If I'm sending somebody a text and it's a whole document, I'll have it in Evernote and I share the text. Google how to use Evernote if you don't know how to do it. I share the link and then I send it in a text and they can pull it up and save it in their Evernote. It's very easy. So Evernote, completely non-negotiable. Everybody needs to be using it. Google Docs, for one reason or another, Google Docs or Google, you can use Sheets, same reason. We're all busy people, mobile, busy people. We need to be able to get to our documents, get to our things very easily. And with Google Docs and Evernote, links are easy to get to. Dropbox is another one. Dropbox, if you have a Dropbox account, you can grow that account with bigger storage by sharing it with other people, and if other people sign up, then you get more storage. So feel free, if you don't have Evernote and you get it, post a link in the team page and let that thing grow, and people can piggyback and add more storage into their Dropbox. So Dropbox, Coach mobile app. I'm going to pull my phone up real quick here. And I've got 15 minutes left. Okay, so Coach mobile app, it's not an app. It's not an app in the App Store. It is a link. It looks like this right here. I'm going to show you real quick here. It pulls up, and of course it's not focused, but what it wants me to do is it wants me to log in to my Team Beachbody account. Okay, what I'm going to do is log into my Team Beachbody account. And then I'm going to put in my new customer's email, and I'm going to either give them a free account, or we've talked about a challenge pack, or we've talked about something that they're going to purchase. I'll choose that and I'll send that to them in their email. So that app you should have. If you can, people forget it or it comes off their phone, just Google Coach mobile app. The link will come up. Okay. The other necessary tool is Google. Google everything. I probably Google search about 100 times a day. I'm usually searching for images, like something comes up and for coffee talk, right? And I was like, oh, Heather was saying the other day, the coffee talk from Saturday Night Live. And so like, oh, I got to find that. Google, coffee talk, click images, and there's a ton of choices. Now, if you're going to you can't use those pictures for professional things, but I Google images all the time. I'm Googling, last night for the workbook, I was Googling 21-day fix stuff. When I'm looking for trailers for programs, I'll type in T25 trailer, and I make sure to grab the Beachbody YouTube video. But Google anything. There's so many coaches out there with answers. I was doing Body Beast yesterday, and I didn't have the DVD in because I was listening to a podcast, and I was like, I couldn't remember how to do the 1-1-2 dumbbell push-ups. Oh my God, Carrie's gonna laugh at me. Anyway, so I Googled it, and this coach had this amazing blog, and she had everything laid out. So Google. Necessary. Google. And I'm gonna look at my phone real quick to make sure I don't miss any other necessary tools to succeed. Facebook, obviously. Facebook Messenger. Don't fear the Messenger. I've been using it for years. It's totally fine. And the cool thing is I'm gonna start using this more often, is the voice. Let's see. I use Leanne. I'll send Leanne a message. You can hold it down. Hi, Leanne. It's Anna. I'm sending you a message through Facebook. I'm on Coffee Talk, so I'm using you as a test. And then you let it go, and I just sent her a voice message. You can do this to your customers. They hear your voice. How cool is that, right? If you're walking, you don't want to text, just use the voice recorder. So that's, I think, 100% necessary, and you can absolutely brighten somebody's day with it. Obviously, you've got your photo apps and your text apps, and there's not one thing over the other that's more important. These three things, I think, for me, are 100% necessary. Kindle, and Audible and iBooks. Of course, it comes with the iBooks, but Audible. I have so much personal development on Audible. Okay, so you go, what would Anna do? This is what Anna would do. These are all personal development books on Audible. Okay, listen to audio books. Kindle now has the feature where you can read and then it goes to voice. I do that. Absolutely necessary to be successful. You, that's really it. Don't text me. I'm in coffee talk. Someone's texting me. Personal development. If you don't know what to listen to, ask for some recommendations. There's so many recommendations. But if you're like going through something, and of course, oh, I know another thing. I have quick tips for business on my YouTube channel. If you don't know the answer, go over there. They're only 1 minute long, and I'm continually adding to that. I'm also pinning a quick tip to the top of the team page every Sunday night. So there's always going to be a new quick tip up there, and they're only 1 minute long. They're not these coffee talk long thingies. Okay. What else do you need? Absolutely. You need a calendar. Go to Staples and get yourself a year. Here's what you shoot. I don't know if you can see this. There's my messy desk. See this calendar right here? Okay. This was Mike Ryan's doing. He told me about it. It is from plannerpads.com. So now it's the perfect time to get it for 2015. But you can also, I think you can get them at Staples. It's a whole year of planning. What you want to do is you want to put in every Super Saturday. It's already there in the back office. So I started with this last year. I put in every Super Saturday there was. So I knew ahead of time. Like there was no excuses. So when it comes to plan the family events, I know that there's a Super Saturday on that day. Plug in Summit. Plug in the Beachbody trip. Plug in, of course, you know, when the kids don't have school, or the last day of school. You know, this way, this is like, you know, the central location of where to decide what priorities take place first. If I already know Super Saturday is coming up and something comes up after that, then I'm going to say no because Super Saturday is already there. All right. So those are planned out. If something is planned out ahead of time, I know it. You can also use it to set goals. I set financial goals each quarter. And yeah, I haven't met them, just so you know. So calendar. I also have this other calendar that you guys have seen me do that has 2 months, 60 days of planning. So you plan out this month of your challenge groups, whether they're free groups, whether they're events, business opportunity, webinars, or groups. When does your group start? When are you going to promote for it? When is the deadline? So that you can constantly look at it and there's no question. This way your mind is not going like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to do this. It's already there. You sit down one day and you go through it. It's already there. That's one less feeling of being overwhelmed. Let me tell you, that's the biggest tool. Having a calendar. As far as whiteboards go, unless you're a diamond or above, you don't necessarily need a whiteboard. So save your money until then. Get the Post-it notes so that you saw the other day. Write down things that come to your mind. Absolutely necessary. Okay. Highly recommended tools are things like, I would say highly recommended tools are things that you're going to invest your money in, are trainings. Now, I would highly suggest, and it's, if you ever listen to Darren Hardy, my crush, and other top, you know, personal development leaders, you spend 10% of your earnings on your personal development. And so if you ask Hillary Kelly, who earns a bazillion dollars, no, I'm just kidding, she earns a ton of money, she puts 10% back into her personal development. So if you're a brand new coach, you know, and you earn $30, then you put $3 back into your personal development, or you go on YouTube for free, or you go in the success tab and you do that. But once you start earning money, or you're in a position that you can, I cannot recommend it enough. So I went to Danny Johnson, First Step to Success, a couple years ago. A lot of you went to that. Some of you went to the next session, which was called Dynasty. I did not. I found that what I got out of Danny Johnson was exactly what I needed when I was working full time. It was exactly what I needed. So Danny Johnson's training, I would also recommend, Shalene has Smart Success coming up. That changed my world last year on really this topic of like how to get everything done. So if you haven't gone to Shalene's Smart Success, then I would highly suggest looking into that training. I'm actually going to go back to my last year to see if there's anything else that I did that, you know, I would recommend. I know what I would recommend. So last year, early in the year, I was invited to go to Belize with top 10 coaches. Like me, what? And it was so scary to ask my husband if I could do it, because it just was so like, hey, honey, I'm going to leave for a week and go to Belize with a bunch of Beachbody coaches and leave you, and I'm going to be in paradise. And but I was asked, and this is amazing when you ask someone, and she probably could have asked 100 people, but she asked me and said, you should go. You should really go. This is the power of private messaging people. You should really go. You should really do this. And so I was like, really, me? Right? So think about it too when you're talking to your challengers and you're talking something that you really believe in. You should really do this. The reaction that they get is like, really, you actually believe in me? You actually think I should go? So I was invited to this Belize trip. Sue McDonald and I went on this trip, and Whitney Fenton, who's also on Team Victory, went on this trip. And there were a bunch of coaches I didn't know. And they were all amazing. Some of them elite coaches from this year. Some of them will be elite coaches from next year. But what I gained out of that week of majorly stepping out of my comfort zone, because I didn't know those people. And I'm not, you know, like I'm one to hang out with the guys, right? Not one to hang out with the girls. But I hung out with the girls in Belize for a week, girls that I didn't know. I knew Amber Scott and I knew Sue McDonald, and I hadn't met Whitney. I think I met Whitney once. And that was it. And there were 20 of us, 23 of us. And it was like the best decision I ever, because the relationships I made in there have helped me in my business all year long, because I've been able to work with those people after that event. So if you have the opportunity to do something like that, or somebody posts a retreat to go on and you're like, here's a great opportunity, should I do it, should I not? You should absolutely 100% do it. So those are the recommended tools, because that is going to it's just going to make your life so much better. Certification, you know, it enhances your business. That is something that I recommend. So let's see. So training, recommended tools, you know how to never feel lost. I mean, it really is all just like, I know what I wanted to talk about, because I don't know if this is what I have on the agenda tomorrow, but if it does, I'll go a little bit more into detail. But this whole week, I haven't really talked about your Facebook post, and I have 5 more minutes because I got to take the kids to soccer. Facebook posts, okay? I have been improving on my Facebook posts because I want to improve, right? Like my pick monkey. And so I'm not perfect, right? So I want you, sometimes we forget what to post, and sometimes we forget that we're not working out. We don't. What I want you to do is I want you to listen to Chalene Johnson's podcast on it's actually about your like page, but the information in there is really valuable for a personal page. And I still wouldn't necessarily recommend going down the like page rabbit hole right now. It's really difficult to build your presence on a like page. You're welcome to do it. It's a lot of work. But you can use the same principles on your personal page. And I would highly suggest you listen to that podcast in a What Would Anna Do moment. And it really basically comes down to who your target audience is. Who are you talking to? We talked about in our training, we talked about our avatar, or our the person that we're speaking to, and what we want to say. And what we want to say is something valuable. Okay, so before you post something, this is what I want to say. Before you post something, I want you to think, is this going to be valuable for somebody to see this? Whether they want to share it, whether you've brightened somebody's day. You know, of course, like for me, I don't know. I just post stuff that comes to my mind, like about my family, about my daily life. And that's what you should do as well, because you shouldn't just be putting out like helpful content. People need to know who you are. So putting out whatever's going on in your life, but also the things that you do post, the things that you do share, is that providing value? So like if you share, I got stuck on the newsfeed yesterday, which was just such a mistake. If you share, you know, like now they have the trending thing on the right, which is just such a distraction. But it's like something about, you know, it's just something so negative. Does that actually provide value to anybody? Does that actually, you're going to get shares for something so tragic? Do you really want that? So think before you post. That's my point. Think before you post. You should be posting at least 3 times a day. Now we're talking about being overwhelmed, right? So when do you do that? You get up in the morning, like we talked about the other day, you read a little bit of personal development, you share what you've learned. At lunchtime, you share one more valuable piece of information. Maybe something that you've seen on somebody else's page. And then at night, you close up shop for the night. Like how, you know, people want to sleep well. How are people going to sleep well? Are they sore? Did they have a great day? Did they not? You want to close up shop, okay? That's like the minimum of what you want to be posting. Now, you're always welcome to sit down on Sunday night, because you don't even have time to do that, right? Sit down on Sunday night and set those posts up in, oh yeah, the other tools. Necessary tools. You can choose between Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE, and Buffer. It's called bufferapp.com. I love Buffer app because when I post, it's super easy. When I post, the picture shows, I can schedule them. So I use Buffer all the time. So schedule your post out. If you want to make one live in the middle of the day, like a picture of your lunch, then save that one. But in the morning, schedule it the morning and the evening. You can do that on Sunday or whenever you sit down and you have some extra time. Like I have Buffer on my phone, so I can schedule things out on my phone, super easy, and my week is scheduled. So that's really what you should be posting. Improve your posts. Don't post a really dark. Think about your post. Spend an extra 5 minutes. We had this conversation at lunch after Super Saturday about pictures to post on Facebook. Well, Facebook has this new filter thing, which is great. So you can use that. But spending, and this is a training that I think Janelle Summers did, spending an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes on a picture to make it look just right. You should see my photo app. My photo, let me see real quick here. This is just me being me. You can see like my whole camera roll is not necessarily of my kids. This is all business stuff all day. And like repeat pictures, right? So there are a lot of filtered pictures, or I changed the filter. For example, here, I did this and then I put it in a filter and I made it this, right? So I spent an extra 5 minutes to do that. Or I see other people's posts and I really liked this new coach announcement. So I saved that as an idea. Or like, this is all business stuff. Or like, let's see, to make a picture nice. Okay, another example. I was doing I could have posted this as my new workout schedule, right? I could have I taken a picture, I could have posted, see how dark it is. But instead I took an extra 5 minutes and I put it through an app, and that's what I came up with. Like, how cool is that, right? So don't just go throwing stuff up on Facebook. Think about it. Take that extra 5 minutes. Take a look around what other people are doing, what looks nice to you, what's eye-catching, because what you're doing is you're not the one in the news feed. Your friends are the ones in the news feed, and what your goal is to make them stop. Now, if you have a really dark picture that has no interest with, they're not going to stop and see your post. Take that extra 5 minutes, share that, okay? And remember that, are you providing value, or are you providing something that somebody needs when you're posting? And don't go disappearing, because no one's going to see you, and then you're going to wonder why your business is not doing well because you're not posting. I would love to sit down and go through everybody's page that's in this group. I might do that. I don't know. Go through everybody and get an idea of what you guys are all posting, because it's impossible for me to see. I do see some people that pop up, but I would love to be able to critique what people are posting. And just know that you cannot compare your day one with your 5 years down the line. Man, I've improved on my pictures, but it's taken me so long. You should go into my photo album that's called like P90X helping people or something. And those are pictures from years ago. And they're just so blah and yucky. So I'm giving you this now, especially if you're a new coach, like make the pictures nice now, early. Don't just throw up stuff that I did before. Even though you can be successful, take that extra 5 minutes, because I didn't have that advice a long time ago. I didn't have that advice. Take that extra 5 minutes and do it right, okay? Because it will make the world of a difference. All that time spent up front will help you so much down the long run, because you'll have stopped people in their tracks. All right, so learn from others. Don't spend a whole lot of time, but learn from others. Ask questions, ask for critiques, post it in the team page. Hey, I'm getting ready to post this picture. What do you think? And then people, please support each other and share. You guys are doing that. All right, I have to go scold my kids. No, they're actually being great now. They're totally quiet because they knew I was in trouble. I did the mom thing. I went, you're in big trouble. And I don't do that very often. And that's why they're silent now. So that's how I discipline my kids. My mom did this. Gave me the eye. And the eye worked for me. So it's a total guilt thing. So anyways, that's it. I know I'm like losing viewers here. Tomorrow will be, oh goodness. Tomorrow will be the end. And I don't have my agenda up. That's okay. Tomorrow will be the end, and we will wrap this all up, and you guys will feel 1,000 times better for what you've got going on. And I hope you already do. I know that the feedback has been great, and I appreciate that. I would love to be able to do this every week, but it's a lot of time that I could be doing something else. But I do think that this was so important right now, because I do think that everybody was on the same page as far as feeling like, and it totally showed. Like this week showed you guys did so well. And I just want to keep continuing that. So give me some feedback. Actually, I know some of you said, oh, I wish we could do this more often. Give me some feedback on like what you would want if you had the opportunity to do or to listen to Coffee Talk. How often would you want it? You know, topics, whatever. Just share with me, because I'm not a mind reader, and that's why the agenda was created based on your feedback initially on being overwhelmed. I read through all your overwhelmed comments and I wrote them all down, and based on that, I provided hopefully helpful information. So if you want to continue something like this, give me some ideas and what you want to hear, because that's what I'm here for. All right, guys, have a good day.